Welcome to TradersArmy.com, defending your right to build wealth and preserve capital for generations to come. Yeah, Monday, daily market commentary. Hope everybody having an absolutely amazing weekend. I am your host, Chuck Fulkerson. Thanks for joining us on the DMC today. For those of you new to the channel, click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you get the updates as they become available. For those of you that are returning, do me a favor, leave a comment, leave a like, leave something so the computers know that you are alive. We look at the same 10 to 12 futures markets every day, identifying them from a breakout perspective as well as a turning reversal trades from an educational point of view. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So starting with the S&P. S&P this morning, we're down about 11 points. We did the live trading room yesterday, and yesterday when we were doing the live trading room at about 8 o'clock Central Time, we were down about 5. And I felt like we were going to have a little bit of weakness in the overnight sessions. And so that's exactly kind of what has transpired. So, you know, leave me a comment down below if you were in the session last night, if you took took that overnight short. Wasn't a big one, you know, and frankly not high probability just because there was no strong turning points. But when we were looking at it at about this time of the evening, price did come down, and then it's fallen pretty much from there. So our next available opportunity we had talked about is this area down in here on a 15-minute chart. Now that 15-minute level is not a great high probability level for a couple of reasons. One, it's already been touched with this move away. Two, it was formed at about 8:30, 8:45. It was formed at a terrible time of day. So it's pretty low probability. Now, the only reason that I would be looking at it is because my 4-hour, which is my big picture, still tells me to be a buyer, although it's a very weak tell to be a buyer, right? If we think about what's happened using our higher swing highs and higher swing lows, we've gotten relatively the same last two swing highs, and our swing lows, while still higher, are getting close, right? So even though technically we are still being a buyer, our buying bias has been weakened over the last little bit, and it's going to continue to do so until we can thrust above this, you know, this 2680 kind of resistance point. Now, this isn't the first time this happened. I mean, when you think about it, rallies that go straight up with no pullbacks give you no opportunity to get in. So, you know, when I look at this more on a daily time period, we have a number of areas of demand down below us, but we still have some supply up above us. So our big picture, while our big picture is typically for me the 4-hour, if you want to go even bigger on the big scale, technically I'm still a seller, right? If you go to the weekly chart. So the weekly chart is still overall, you know, telling me to be a seller. And so don't forget about that, right? I still keep that in the back of my mind. I'm, you know, when I'm doing intraday style of trades and small time frame, then I'm not always considering that because that's too deep. But as we're losing momentum on this latest rally higher, if the 4-hour changes direction on us and tells us to become a seller, that's when that weekly becomes super important. But until then, still overall going to be a buyer. There's levels of demand down below me for potential opportunities, and this 15-minute level could be a reversal point for today. So follow your own rules. You know how to set your stop losses outside of those levels. On the Nasdaq level, so looking here at the NQ has been, it's underperforming. It's actually a little bit weaker than the S&P in general, so our demand area is a bit lower. Now, this demand area that we have identified in the NQ is a little bit further away than the one in the S&P, and this could be even a better opportunity. We have another one down in here, which we've come to already once and got a really nice move away from it. So that one worked out pretty well last week. So let's see if this one down here is going to be able to hold. I should convert this one. I forgot to do it yesterday to a confirmation style entry since we are coming near that particular area. Let me change this one here. There we go. Okay, I realized I had two of them stacked on top of each other. So So the next level that I would look at, it would be a reversal at this one down here in the hourly as a confirmation entry, but on the smaller time period, which I think this was actually found on a 15-minute chart, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it was. So this should be in purple. Remember, levels in purple are found on 15-minute charts. Levels in green are found on the 1-hour chart. If it's a dashed line, that's a confirmation entry. If it's a solid line, that is a limit entry. Crude oil. Crude oil still chopping around between some areas of demand and support, demand and supply. We've got a couple of areas below us and a couple of areas above us. Last night in the live trading room, we talked about an iron condor outside of some of these areas. Brought us a pretty decent return, about 18% over 15 days, which was a pretty nice little return. If you do want to trade it directionally, well, then you've got to look a little bit closer and say, okay, where's there an opportunity? And in that case, there's a decent little area at the European market open in the overnight. So we're getting to that area now. If I move that to the 15-minute, it'll be a little bit clearer and easier to see. Zoom in on it. So that little bit of basing here right at the European market open, that's kind of where we're getting to now. So keep an eye on that one if that's something that would fit your risk parameters. Gold. Now gold, we see that we've hit this area up here. Where in the world did that area come from? Well, I've got to go all the way back on a 4-hour to see it. And it's this pivot high right here. So gold, kind of what I'm looking at is my big picture, once again, telling me to be a buyer. But we have made our way up to what could be a little bit of a turning point. Now, if we do get a pullback out of there, who's to say how far down it will go, because it's a pretty wide area. I don't know that it'll make it all the way down to here. But if we make it up through there, if we do make it up through that level, we don't really have any high quality resistance until almost 1350. So it's potential. There's potential here to trade a short out of that level and then a long going higher. So for gold. So just keep that one in mind. Looking at our bonds and our currency markets. So in our bonds and our currency markets, we have a level in the bond markets that last night we talked about. This is a potential reversal. Price came so close. Did not quite get in or get filled. I'm still going to leave that area in play because I think that could still be a decent little area for people to get short if they want to. I do, however, have to change the entry style because we came so close to it and we're unable to get filled. So I'm going to change to a confirmation style entry. In the Aussie, we are sitting above what could be a potential breakout to the downside. So those of you that are, I like all this selling pressure we're getting coming into this area. I'd love to see a little bit more basing and then get short on the drop away. And then in the euro, we've come really close to this level twice, and we're coming close to it again. That's why it's a confirmation reversal. And then our level in the Canadian. So we've got a level of supply up above us and demand down below us, both in the Canadian dollar. Last, but certainly not least, would be the Great British Pound, Japanese Yen, and then also we're going to take a look at nat gas. So Great British Pound, if I maximize this one, we had talked last night about a potential reversal right in here. It's not come back to that level yet, so let's wait and see if it does get there indeed. And then the Japanese Yen, we've got a level of supply up above, level of demand down below. It's not in either one of those as of yet. Looking here at copper, we have a supply level up above us, but price hasn't gotten to that one. And so all of these we're still kind of waiting in on. And the nat gas, we talked last night about how to trade the nat gas level. It is not set up yet for an entry and an opportunity. But overall, you guys know how to maintain stop losses, so keep your stop losses in place. If you've got any questions, send us an email, support@tradersarmy.com. I will see you tomorrow.